Hey, Wendy, which script would you like to work with?
I'm going to go with the cold script.
Okay, so page 16.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty. I'm right here. Okay, cool. All right, ring, ring. Hello.
Hi, Danny. How's it going?
Awesome.
Great. This is Wendy. I'm calling you back. You requested more information about working from home. What can I do for you?
What is it that you have?
Well, that just depends on,
Off your butt! No matter where they ask you a question, you just keep reading the script.
Okay.
Don't think. Just read.
Okay.
Hold on, because I have one little tip for you real quick. You had a long pause right after the first sentence. You want to shore up that pause a little bit. By the way you entered the conversation was absolutely perfect. Yep. Perfect. You had me completely sidetracked. You had me in the palm of your hands.
Okay.
And you lost me when you started to think. Okay, but you had me eating out of your hands. You said it perfect. Hi, Danny, how's it going? I'm like, oh, awesome. That was my natural response that you pulled out of me. You provoked the I'm doing awesome response just by the way you entered that conversation. So excellent right there. But then you had a big pause.
Okay.
No pause. This is Wendy. I'm calling you back. You requested more information about working from home. What can I do for you? Okay, so you kind of changed your posture. The first line entering the conversation was absolutely awesome. That big pause got you a little bit off your rocker. I don't know if it was my response that made you go, ho! Is that what happened when I said, oh, I'm doing awesome?
I think it's just being on the call, you know. So I'm just supposed to completely ignore that question and keep going.
Yeah, do you have a pen and paper handy? That kind of answers the question.
Okay.
To save us both time, I need to ask you a few questions to figure out what information to direct you to.
Got it.
Yes, it answers the question because why? I said, what do you got?
Yeah, you're right.
You're about to tell me.
Yep.
You are the one in control of the conversation. Okay. So control the conversation.
Okay.
The one who's asking the questions is the one who is controlling the conversation. So you were in control when you said, what can I do for you? And I asked you a question and said, well, what do you got? Now your job is to ask me another question. Do you have a pen and paper handy?
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Okay. So what do you got?
Do you have a pen and paper handy, Danny?
Yeah.
Okay, great. To save us both time, I need to ask you a few questions to figure out what information to direct you to. Are you currently working from home?
Now you sound like you're reading me a bedtime story. Watch.
Okay.
Do you have a pen and paper handy, Wendy?
I do.
To save us both time, I need to ask you a few questions to figure out what information to direct you to.
Come on, fun of me.
I'm not your 10-year-old. Don't read me a bedtime story, please.
Okay.
Okay? You are a professional business developer. You are conducting an interview. You are friendly. You're going to treat me as though I've known you my whole life. I've known you. And I love you. And you're interviewing me, which means I better impress you because I want to know you more.
Okay.
That's human nature. It's human nature. It's how we enter in a conversation. It's how people engage in that conversation. So either we can arm them or disarm them. Okay? So try it again with, do you have a pen and paper handy?
Okay. Do you have a pen and paper ready, Danny?
Yes, I do.
Great. To save us both time, I need to ask you a few questions to figure out what information to direct you to. Are you currently working from home right now?
No, I'm not.
And what is it that you do for a living?
Your posture's perfect! You're doing it. You're absolutely doing it, Wendy. I'm so proud of you.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect posture. You're smiling while you're on the phone. You've got the authority that you're carrying with that script. You're doing it right. Okay. All right. What is it that I do for a living? I work for. I'm a licensee manager for National Car Rental.
And how long have you been doing that?
8 months.
8 months. And what is it that you specifically like about that job?
I like that I have freedom. I don't have a boss that's breathing down my neck. I have the freedom to kind of pretty much come and go, and I don't make my own schedule, but within my schedule, I have a lot of freedom to grow that business.
Okay. And what is it that you might dislike about your position?
I tripled the sales of the company, but they did not triple my income.
Oh, wow, that hurts.
I'm making the same amount that I did when I started my first month.
Oh, my goodness. Are you thinking of replacing that current income or just supplementing it, Danny?
I think I would like to initially supplement it and then replace it.
Okay, understandable. Are you married?
No, I'm not. I'm engaged.
Oh, have any kids?
1.
Oh, how old?
She's 1.
It's a girl then.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Have you ever been self-employed or owned a business before, Danny?
No, I haven't. I don't even know what that looks like.
Okay. What level of income are you accustomed to right now with your position?
About $1,500 a month.
Okay. And how much would you like to generate in the next 12 months?
It'd be great if I could double that.
Okay. All right. And do you have any capital set aside to start your business with?
Does that mean like I have savings or something?
Yeah, something set aside to put into your business to start it up.
I don't know how much does it cost?
Well, you know, Danny, our company has quite a standard of people we're looking for. There's a lot of work on our part in setting someone up in a home business successfully. So we're looking for people who are absolutely serious about building a business and making money from home. So Danny, how serious are you about starting a home business?
I'm serious.
And tell me why.
Well, you know, I get to drive brand new cars while I'm at work every day. But I don't drive a new car to and from home or to and from work. So, I mean, I'd love to buy a new car, and I'd love to get out of the apartment that I'm in and maybe eventually be able to rent a house and versus living in an apartment. So initially, that's why I'd want to make more money.
Okay, great. Those are great goals. Let me tell you a little bit about the company I work with. It was created in 1998. We're a debt-free multinational corporation generating over $400 million in sales annually, making us a leader in the industry with 40,000 representatives in the United States and Canada. We have tens of thousands of satisfied clients, and because of their satisfaction, they actually refer business to us on a daily basis. We have been in a number of different publications. Danny, have you heard of Oprah's O Magazine, Fitness, or Shapes?
Yeah, I have.
These are just a few of the publications we've been featured in the last few years, and we've been founded by John Smith. Our company is ABC. Have you ever heard of us?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Well, Danny, the person we're looking for has 3 main qualities. They're a team player, self-motivated, and dependable. Do you feel like you have these qualities?
Absolutely.
Great. Danny, do you still have that pen and paper handy?
I do.
Do you have internet access?
I do.
Okay, I want to confirm your email address. What is the best email to contact you at?
Danny, Superstar Pink Panties. 123yahoo.com.
Danny Superstar Pink Panties at yahoo.com.
Yeah, that'll work.
Well, that's an interesting email address, Danny. I'll be sending you a link to our website to make sure you get the information. Hey, by the way, do you have access to the internet while talking to me right now?
I do.
Okay, great. I'd like you to go to the computer right now, and I just want to make sure you don't have any problems downloading the information.
Okay.
I'll be taking you to www.abc.com. Now, Danny, the presentation I'm going to be sending you to is by an amazing businesswoman and my mentor. She has changed her life 180 degrees and gone from a personal income, has raised her personal income as a homeschool mom and wife to a 6-figure income earner. Okay. And I'd like to share her with you. Have you gotten to that website yet?
I think so. Was it AB?
It's www.abc.com.
Oh, abc.com.
That's it.
Okay. It seems like my internet's kind of slow. So how long have you been doing this?
Danny, were you able to get to that information yet?
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Okay, great. Make sure you take very good notes because on this website is the information that you're requesting, and it's going to give you the opportunity to get that new car and help you afford to have a new home. So let me give you my phone number. It's 813-555-1212. And Danny, we're pre-screening a lot of people right now. We'll be making a decision real soon, so the sooner you can go to the website, the better. And depending on what your response is to this information will determine whether or not we'll work together and where you fit into our team. Are you available in about 20 minutes?
No.
Okay, maybe there would be a better time. Are you really serious about getting this opportunity?
What opportunity?
Danny, if you're not very serious about this opportunity, maybe we'll have to chat another time.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Okay, let me just point out a couple little things. You did amazing. You did, Wendy. You're better than the most I have seen in the last year.
Okay.
So you are very familiar with that script. How many times have you read that script?
A lot.
100?
No, not quite that many, maybe. I don't know, last couple of days. I've been working on it since first steps, so.
Like since Orlando?
Yeah.
You rocked it.
Okay.
You rocked it. You really rocked it. You sound very comfortable with that script. Let me just direct you to a couple little things that that will help you take what you're already doing even better. How many calls have you made, since you came out of First Steps?
I haven't purchased any leads and made any cold calls as of yet. I've been using the script as a social media avenue. I've been using it that way.
Meaning copy and paste?
Correct, yes.
Nice. Very, very nice. And what's been going, do you have the social media empire?
I do not. I just heard about that. You were just talking about that with Jacqueline. I was like, I have to get that.
Yeah. You totally got to get that.
Okay.
That's gonna help tremendously. Okay, so here's a couple places where, and by the way, you should be calling people because you're awesome on the phone. You're absolutely awesome on the phone.
Thank you.
That's gonna be a great strength for you.
Okay.
Yeah, really, really, really good. You got a very friendly voice. You are very confident. You have really good posture. All of that is excellent. But here's a few things that I have found that can improve your game tremendously.
Great.
Number one, you really didn't get enough information from me. This is an interview, and so you literally were just can you see at the middle of page 16 in the bold it says some questions to ask are.
Mm-hmm.
These are suggested questions to ask. It means you need to ask more questions than just these.
Okay.
Okay? Because what you're looking for, Wendy, is you're looking for my sign. What were my strengths?
That you were a independent person. You could lead yourself and get productivity going all on your own.
Okay. What were my interests?
You were interested in getting a new car and possibly getting out of your apartment and getting a new home.
What were my needs?
Ooh, missed that.
Yep. Not only that, this is what I would do more, and especially when you're on social media, because what happens is that we get a little too excited when we feel like the conversation is going good, and we kind of move ahead too fast. I want you to spend 5 minutes forming the person, because it only takes 5 minutes to go through the rest of the script. So what happened at the end here is that you did not find enough to sell me on. Your focus was selling me on your company and selling me on your presentation, and you actually used the word presentation, and the word presentation is not in this script.
Yeah, you're right.
Nowhere in this script. So that word presentation tipped me off that I was going to be sold something versus giving me information I was requesting. A presentation always denotes that I'm going to be asked to buy. Don't use that word. That word puts up a wall instead of disarming the prospect. What disarms the prospect is, this is the information you requested. This is the website where you're going to find the information that you requested. That's disarming. Thank you. You're giving me what I want.
Okay.
But I'm going to direct you to this presentation where you can learn blah, blah, like, whoa, I didn't want to see a presentation. Okay?
Yeah.
So that was a barrier that you put up.
Okay.
Okay? The other thing was, when I told you, now if we were doing a real interview, think about it, you're a human resource person and we're doing an interview, and I said I tripled the sales of a company in 8 months, you just went right over like that was nothing. Do you think that the prospect, would be proud of that fact?
Absolutely.
So would you want the prospect to talk more about what they like?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I kind of felt that in the moment, but I was just so like wanting to get to the next place that I just, yeah.
And that's what I felt. What I felt from this, and the reason why I got unserious, is because I felt your agenda was more important to you than my agenda.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
And so when you're trying to push it to get to what you want to do, you're missing the opportunity to gather this information. So if you were to ask me more questions, what would those more questions be, especially with what I just said? It's been 8 months, I tripled the sales, they didn't triple my income. And so rather than assuming what my needs are, you could ask more questions to find out what they are and to find out what my strengths are. Here's the other part. At the very end, you miss an opportunity to sell me what I'm good at. So it sounds something like this.
Okay.
It would sound, you know, Danny, so on this website is exactly where you'll find the information that you requested so that you can use those great skills that you have that caused you to work independently, having that freedom within that time that you're at work, tripling the sales of an organization. But with our company, you actually will earn according to what you produce instead of being overlooked. And that way you'll be able to buy that new car and that new house that you were looking for.
Got it.
That is, remember on the board, the risk versus worth?
I do.
Okay? And remember I said you got to pile on the worth so that it makes the risk look smaller.
Okay.
But if you're not piled on the worth, and I am the worth, not your company, not your product, the prospect is the worth. Okay. So it's what is important to me is where the worth is. That's what's worth it.
Okay.
And so that's why you want to pile on. Danny, on this site is exactly where you'll find the information where you can work independently, as you do now, being able to do what you freely need to be able to grow the sales of a company. And rather than being overlooked and ignored for tripling the sales, with our company, you actually would be rewarded directly for the work and effort that you put out, so that you will be able to buy that car and get that new house that you want to do, that you want to get.
Okay. Love it.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I want you to just write down on page 16 there where it says some questions are 5 minutes, baby. I want you to spend 5 minutes forming the prospect and form them around, most importantly, their work history. That's most of it right there. That's where you're going to find the strengths, the goals, the interests, all that stuff. That's where you're going to find most of those things. And by the way, if I was interviewing for a job and I have only been here for 8 months and I'm already looking for something else, what would be the obvious question to ask me?
What's wrong? Something's wrong.
What would you ask me in the interview? How would you articulate that?
What do you dislike about it?
I already said I tripled the sales and they didn't triple my income.
Right? I don't know.
Okay, let me do it with you. You've only been working for National Car Rental for 8 months. So how long have you been working at National Car Rental?
8 months.
Really? So what did you do before?
I was catering.
What kind of catering were you doing?
It was for weddings and graduation events, things like that.
Okay. How long did you cater for?
For 10 years.
That's a long time.
It is.
Yeah. For the same exact company for the solid 10 years?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And what did you like about catering?
I love serving the people and taking care of the people and just pleasing them. And it was good pay for the amount of time I was there.
Do you see all the information, Wendy, you just gave me? And if I ignored that question, I would not have gotten your part of your gem that motivates you.
Oh, yeah, you did, didn't you?
Do you see that? So if you said I worked for National Car Rental for 8 months, and then it's like, okay, well, what do you like about it? I like the independence that I have. I like this. I like that. What do you not like about it? I tripled the sales, but on, and you moved right on. You missed the opportunity to really get to know me. You missed the opportunity for me to talk about myself, to talk about what my accomplishments are, what I feel good about, what I am good at, because that's me selling you.
Right.
And then you sell me back to me.
Okay.
So look at that. I found that that in this case, if I say, well, you know, you've only been with the National Car Rental for 8 months. What did you do prior to that? I was in the catering business. What kind of catering? Weddings, you know, blah, blah. And I would ask you questions about that too. How long? 10 years. With the same company for 10 years? What did you feel when I'm asking you those questions?
That you're really interested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. That's what I would change, baby. You're going to knock this sucker out of the park. Wendy, I'm telling you, you're going to knock this sucker out of the park. You are a natural. You're an absolute natural. You are disarming naturally in your personality, babe. That is going to benefit you greatly, greatly. The other thing I'll tell you that you did a good job, you cut me off too soon, but I'm glad that you cut me off because I gave you some excuses. Oh, I'm not, you know, no, I'm not available in 20 minutes. You kind of rejected me a little too fast there.
Okay.
And you kind of assumed that I had. It could be that I have to go pick up my kids in 20 minutes from school.
Oh.
You know you see what I mean?
Right.
So you immediately cut me off versus, okay, well, Danny, when is a good time then for us to talk? And if I would have said next week, then I'd say, I'm so sorry, I'll have these positions filled by then. I'm actually looking at least by tonight that I'll be making some decisions as to who I'm going to install in this position. So do you have, is 5 o'clock good, 6 o'clock good? And I would suggest sometimes options for them to choose.
Okay, so no assumptions. Okay.
Yeah, don't assume that they're a loser because look, I tripled the sale. Look, I tripled the sales in 8 months of National Car Rental.
Right.
You want this prospect.
Absolutely.
Right, and you were like, quickly, because I couldn't make it in 20 minutes. See ya. Now, I'm glad that you have the ability to say see ya, but you want it again. If you're thinking, you're thinking that you're an interviewer, it's going to change how you approach this. You rejected me first because you're trying to sell me something. But if this was an interview, you perhaps might have a good fit for this position. Because if I like to work independently, I don't like a boss breathing down my back. I like that with the hours I have to do whatever it takes to grow the business, and I tripled the sales in 8 months. That's a good prospect.
Yeah.
That's a qualified prospect. This perfect person for a home-based business. Absolutely perfect. Okay. But that doesn't mean you now try to beg. God forbid. That doesn't mean you try to beg. But I want you to dig more, form more, okay, and then find more to add the worth to get me to go to that website to get the information. It is not called a presentation.
Information. Okay.
Yeah, by the way, you did an excellent job on your company overview. Excellent.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So don't rush. Don't just rush with your agenda. Use that beautiful personality you have to serve others, to get them to talk more about themselves, find their strengths, interests, goals, and needs, and bada boom, bada bing, you're going to be an awesome, awesome home-based business builder. Gosh, I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Can't wait to show you.
Yes, that's exciting. That's really exciting. Okay, awesome. Well, we got through all 3.
Yes.
Yay.
Thank you, Wendy.
Yes, thank you, Wendy. Great
awesome.
job. Yes, all of them. All 3 of them were just
did.
perfect examples to work with. So on that note, I hope that you found that tonight was helpful just with those 3 short examples that we had. And look at how fast the time has flown. We've been on the phone and on this webinar now for 2 hours, and I know that you got a lot of content and tips and little sidebar deals that you were able to work with, you know, as far as the 10 hours a week and how to structure your time, how to really set yourself up as a committed business person. And these really are the key things that it takes really, truly to succeed. There's a few things that we've mentioned through the webinar One of them is that I want to know how you feel this webinar was for you. Do you feel like we gave you your money's worth? $27, and then for our pro members, they got it free, right? The pro members, if you're a pro member, you got this webinar for free. Listen, if this was free, do you feel like you got far more? In other words, you should have paid for it. Can you just help us out? And there's something that you can do. We would like to keep things like this and the cost of keep things like this really cheap so that we can help more and more people that are out there, but we need your help to go viral with it. Please go and get on Facebook now, get on Twitter now, telling them all the value that you just got out of a 2-hour training with a multimillionaire who's raised up other multimillionaires. And that it's shocking to you and how blessed you feel that you've been able to study and learn all that you've been able to learn in 2 hours, just jam-packed with just massive content and great coaching. And so please, at the very least, can you please send some referrals in this direction and tell people about Smarter Networker? Do you think that's fair? I think it's fair. I got a lot of other things I could be doing with my time. Brian has a lot of other things he could be doing with his time. You have other things you could do with your time. So the best thing that we can do is help other people become professional in this industry, because there's so many amateurs out there and they actually give the industry a really bad name. And the only reason why I'm here tonight, 2 days before I leave for Russia, Latvia, Finland, and London for 2 weeks, I got lots of packing I got to do still for that trip. The only reason why I'm here on this Thursday night is because I want to see the tides change in the industry, and I want it to be represented the way it ought to be. This is a profession, and you need to treat it that way. And we need to grab as many people in this industry to train them up to be professionals so that it is represented properly, and therefore more people will actually be getting started in this awesome industry that it helped me to become a millionaire for the first time. That has helped many. This is the only industry that can make the claim that they have created more millionaires than any other industry in the world. So let's give people the opportunity to succeed. So share it with your friends, your family members, and share it with people that maybe you know in other businesses. You have friends that are in other businesses. Let them know about this incredible website, Smarter Networker, where they have that free 30-day boot camp. And if they're wise and they want to be a professional, they're going to make investments into their education and become that pro member. And that pro member is so cheap. It's $100 for over 200 calls, 200 training calls that are in there. They're just powerful, absolutely powerful. All techniques and strategies that work today, and they're going to work forever. The same strategies that have built multi-billion-dollar corporations and have helped people to make a lot of money. So that's the first thing I'm going to ask you for. And again, that is if you feel like tonight was helpful and beneficial for you, if you felt like the price was right, that you got your money's worth, or if you feel like you got more than your money's worth. If you're one of those people, like I was and like Brian was, that the slow way to go is not your way to go, that the hope that it works out, you know, taking your time to build kind of thing. If that's not you, and you're more like Brian and myself, where you wanted to be on a fast track, you wanted to shorten your learning curve, you wanted to shorten the pain of the learning curve, because the learning curve can be painful. What you lack in skill, you're going to have to make up with time, money, and numbers. And so the longer you take to get good at this, the harder it actually is to build. So if you put yourself, if you're one of those who are like, get me on that fast track, cut my learning curve, please, at least by half. I want to show you how to be able to do that. This was 2 hours together. Now you're going to turn us off. I'm going to go home and snuggle with my gorgeous husband. Cannot wait. He's so fine. I got to tell you a story about that a little bit later, but it's amazing. Really shocking. But we're all going to go home. We're going to cut this off, okay? And if you're on the West Coast, you're going to pick up the phone. You're going to start dialing some numbers. You're going to start practicing some of the things that you've already learned here tonight, right? You're going to start implementing it. And I want you to know this. You're going to fumble. You're going to screw it up. But as long as you persist and you keep learning, listen to this training again. It's going to help you. The next time we do a webinar like this, get into it and be one of those that we can actually role play with so that I can help fine-tune your skills. And at the next First Step Success in Baltimore, Maryland, on Monday, I'm going to dedicate a certain amount of hours to role-playing with you live right on the stage, you reading me the script, me coaching you the same exact way I just did Wendy and Randy and Jackie. We know that their results are going to increase because of these simple little fine-tuned things that make all the difference in the world, okay? So I want to put you on a fast track. And that is, of course, if you feel like you got your money's worth here in 2 hours, imagine 3 days together. Imagine being not in your home, but being live with me, face to face. Imagine without the kids in the background, without the dog barking, without your phone text messages going off, without the alert showing up on your computer, your email saying, hey, you got a new email while this webinar was going on, because you know all that was happening. And some of you even just left the webinar for a minute to go pee. Imagine 3 days with no distractions. Imagine you and I working closely together, where I'm going to walk you through every single step, every single skill set, every strategy, process, and method that helped to yield me making $18,000 in 45 days from nothing. $250,000 that very first year. I have nothing to gain by holding anything back from you. I only have to win if I give it all to you.